Howdy y'all, and welcome. Hope everybody's doing well out there so far. Let's go and get right on into it here. As you can see, we got some severe weather going on amongst the central part of the country, as well as from Ohio up into Maine. We also have a couple tropical storms, one down here in the Atlantic and one down here in the Gulf. We'll get in the lows here in a little bit, as there is a tropical storm warning in effect down here. But let's go ahead and get into the severe weather aspect first. So we do have a slight risk in effect from the panhandle of Oklahoma on up into Minnesota. And we do have a low-end threat for tornadoes. Keep in mind, significant tornadoes can happen on low-end days, but the slight risk is mainly going to be driven by a high wind and a large hail threat, so make sure you tie down anything you don't want blowing around or damage from large hail today. As we move off into hump day, we can see that there is a triple threat for some severe weather, as a marginal risk is in effect over here by Illinois, Texas, and down here by southern Texas. Now the one down here in southern Texas is mainly driven by that tropical storm, which we will get into here in a little bit. We also have a marginal risk for severe weather on Thursday as well over here from New York up into Maine. And then after Thursday, we do not have any sort of severe weather to worry about, which is very good news. Now, of course, other than severe weather, we got some major flooding that we're going to be dealing with, as a moderate risk for flooding has been issued for southeastern Texas, and a slight risk has been issued from Oklahoma up into Minnesota today. There's also a moderate risk for tomorrow, which includes a bigger area down here by Houston. And there's also a slight risk again on Thursday. As we take a look at the precipitation totals of what y'all could come in on, it's looking like we could be dealing with upwards of right around 5 to 10 inches here in the moderate risk for flooding zones. And of course, here today, within the slight risk zones, I would expect right around 1 to 2 locally higher amounts possible. So definitely, if you live down here in southeastern Texas near Houston and San Antonio area, please be aware of flooded roadways. See those, turn around, don't drown. If you live in a flood-prone area, please be aware of this, as it looks like this tropical storm is going to be bringing some major flooding y'all's way. Now that we know there's going to be some major flooding going on for the next 3 days, and we know the threats for severe weather, let's go ahead and get into the timing of when you could expect the worst of severe weather today. And you take a look at this, we're going to take a look at the HRRR model, and then we'll take a look at that little tropical storm chance down there in the Gulf that's going to be causing that major flooding for the next few days. And then we'll get into this major heat wave, which has been causing major problems amongst much of the country. As we zoom in here, keep in mind that that date and time is up if you ever want to keep track. Keep in mind that a low-end threat for tornadoes is going to be possible, as well as damaging winds and large hail is going to be the threat within both zones. As we push us forward, we can see that the worst severe is going to be occurring through the late evening into the overnight hours within that slight risk zone. You can see it's going to be a little bit of a squall line event. They move off into the late evening hours, and that's going to start to diminish and mainly turn into a big old flash flooding threat as we head into the early morning hours of hump day. Now, keep in mind, if you live over here from Ohio up into Maine, the main threat for y'all is going to be mainly high winds. As we take a look at what kind of winds y'all could be coming in on, looking like right around 7 o'clock, y'all could be coming in on right around 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts, with some areas getting in on a higher wind gusts, so definitely be aware of this. I know I have a viewer up here in Nebraska could be coming in on right around 25 mile an hour wind gusts right around 7 o'clock. So make sure that you tie down anything you don't want blowing around today, and make sure you are aware that power outages are going to be looking likely. And as we take a look at the tornadic parameters, since we do got a small tornado chance, and keep in mind, even though it's a low end threat for tornadoes, significant tornadoes can happen on low end days, especially here in the 2024 severe weather season. As we know, this year has been pretty crazy, and it's looking like we could be getting in on a major break here soon. As we rewind this to the late evening into overnight hours, we can see that tornadic parameters are going to start to ramp up by right around 6, 7 o'clock up here by Minnesota. As we can see, we're going to be coming in on right around a 2 out of 10, almost a 3 in some places over here in eastern Nebraska, where I have one of my viewers. Also 0.8 out of 10. And if we pull up the composite reflectivity, we can see that we are going to have some storms within that 2 out of 10 zone for tornadoes. Definitely make sure you are hyper weather aware and you know where to go when that tornado warning gets issued for your location. So again, I would expect the worst severe weather today to last from right around 2 o'clock through right around 8, 9, 10 o'clock. So basically a late evening into overnight event with 20 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts, and a few tornadoes are going to be possible as well today. So make sure you're hyper weather aware again. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that little tropical storm chance down there in the Gulf. And we're not going to worry about hump day's timing or Thursday's timing for severe weather since those are low end days. But please follow my X and Facebook pages as I will have daily weather updates on there. If they do up the risks, I'll be on there reporting on that. Now let's go ahead and get into that tropical storm chance down there in the Gulf, which the National Hurricane Center calls 101L. And of course, as mentioned earlier, there's already tropical storm warnings issued over near Corpus Christi, Texas. It's going to start to make landfall by tomorrow, and then it's going to cause major flooding as we head into Thursday, and then be getting out of the area by Friday. And of course, as we can see in the wording by the National Hurricane Center, we can see that tropical storm gust winds are going to be possible, which mainly is going to cause major flooding, so make sure you know your evacuation routes. If you're down here in southeastern Texas, and even if I have any viewers down here in Mexico, please make sure that you know what to do during hurricane season, as it's looking like hurricane season is going to be a pretty big one. And of course, we got this other chance, small chance, but chance nonetheless, out in the Atlantic. Take a look at the Eastern Pacific, nothing going on there, and of course, nothing going on there in the Central Pacific. So let's go and take a look at whether or not any more tropical storms are going to be forming out there, since hurricane season is starting off kind of slow this year. Of course, as you can see, we got that little low pressure system going into Mexico, lasting all the way through Friday, bringing some major flooding to Texas. And we got that little tropical storm out in the Atlantic, not really going to affect anybody, but it's definitely looking like the tropics are going to be heating up here soon. But really, after those storms roll into Mexico, it's looking like not much activity is going to be happening out in the Atlantic. So let's going to take a look at what we could expect for the next few days here in the continental United States. Now, we already know we got some severe weather today going on amongst the central part of the country, and we got that triple threat for severe weather over by Wisconsin, northern and southern Texas. It's looking to be a overnight event for y'all. Not really much to worry about, but again, go follow my X and Facebook pages for further updates. And on Thursday, it's looking like the same story is going to be happening. But it's looking like after we get past the tropical storm and we get past the severe weather events for the next few days, it's looking like we could be coming in on more severe weather up here in the Dakotas by Saturday. So it looks like some weekend plans could unfortunately get ruined. And then some major flooding is looking to be likely as we head towards the end of June out east. And we could be coming in on some snow showers up here in northern Wyoming. If you have any ski resorts up there near you, go out there and enjoy those. It might accumulate to a few inches of snow up there. And it's looking to remain dry out west. As we take a look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, this is valid from the 23rd all the way up into the 27th. We can see that really much of the country is going to be near normal to above average, except for out west, where it's looking like some dry conditions are going to be in store for y'all. Next 8 to 14 days looks just about the same story. So let's go ahead and get into what kind of temperatures we could be getting in on, whether or not this heat wave will be sticking around, because we know we have been really hot here as of late. As we can see here on Tuesday, we're going to be dealing with another major heat wave, 100-degree temperatures stretching as far north as Wisconsin. It's going to cool down a little bit. The northwest is going to be really cool though. We're kind of jealous of y'all out here out east. And it's looking like as we head further and further into June, it's looking like some very treacherous conditions are going to be in store. 100-degree temperatures all the way up here in Indiana with feels like temperatures maxed out 130 degrees. So definitely be aware of this, as it's looking like a major heat wave is going to be sticking around for the next 6 to 10 days, as well as the next 8 to 14 days, except for up here in the northwest. As we can see, the risk for hazardous temperatures, there's a slight risk in effect over here amongst the eastern half of the country. Of course, y'all don't need the Climate Prediction Center to tell you it's going to be extremely hot, because it is. And please be aware of the heat index danger zones. Extreme danger is 125 degrees or higher, could lead to heat stroke. And of course, caution if you're at a 80 to 89 degree heat index. Basically, just use your common sense. I know it's not very common nowadays, but please use your common sense if you're out there working in this heat. Drink a lot of water. And of course, the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Heat exhaustion is dizziness and fainting, excessive sweating, headaches, of course, rapid weak pulse. Heat stroke, that's just loss of consciousness, slurred speech, kind of like how Biden does. He has a slurred speech, but basically it's going to be dry and hot for the next few weeks with a little bit of a tropical storm chance down in the Gulf. So definitely be aware of this, y'all, and make sure y'all stay hydrated, by the way. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's forecast. If you did, make sure you hit that like and share buttons for more folks are informed about the weather. And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload, because here on Williams Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. And leave me some feedback in the comments section down below, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Stay cool, y'all. Make sure you stay hydrated and use your common sense. And if you're down there by Mexico, make sure you're aware that major flooding is going to be possible with this tropical storm that's going to be coming y'all's way. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate everybody for watching. Till next time, never stop forecasting.